connected. For me, especially, I've been looking for Anastasia's wisdom in English in the Beam family, and my dearest friend Irena, whom I know her for about 11 years, more than that, in this lifetime, and I met her in Egypt. And recently, she started reading Anastasia's books, and she got so much involved and she got so much connected that she has that enthusiasm and she has that um, inspiration from Anastasia that she wanted to share the wisdom of Anastasia and what Anastasia is conveying to all of a humankind. Um, Irena is going to bring to all of us, dear friends. So now I request our dearest Irena to come forward and share a bit about herself and about Anastasia and today's teaching. Welcome, Irena. One second, you're on mute. Let me, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
please.
this time. Thank you so much for having me, Yamadu, my dear sister, and all the family, the beaming family. I'm a little bit excited about sharing about Anastasia with you around talking about myself. Well, I've been on a long journey finding myself in post-war Germany and thinking I have landed in the wrong place, and tried my very best to find my way in this society that appeared extremely strange to me and very much upside down from my inner understanding. So, well, to cut the long story short, it took me quite some years and decades even to figure out I cannot fit into this society, and then to understand that I'm not here to fit in, but to find a new path, a new design. So I traveled or lived among various different peoples of this wonderful planet Earth, and then also explored more and more my own inner space, trying to make a sense of it all and to find some kind of harmony or coherence, perhaps, in all of this, what I'm experiencing and feeling in my life. So I opened many doors and explored many pathways. And well, one of them was that I was involved about 20 years ago with the indigo children, which were especially gifted children who also landed in an alien world to them. And in the course of this, I actually met with Vladimir Megre, who is the author of all these books about Anastasia. And he is the father of her 2 children. So the meeting was not spectacular, I would say. And then afterwards, life took me another way again altogether. And it was only, I think, this year that I just happened to glance into Madhu's bookshelf, and I saw 10 black books in a line, or is it nine of them? And then I read Anastasia, and I thought, oh, wow, there she is again. So I started reading crisscross, and I cannot explain to or describe to you all what this did to me internally. Yes, I'm still reading, and it's still firing me up more and more inside, and I'm really inspired and fired by it. And I will explain perhaps a little later on why. What does it do? What does it charge in me, reading these books? Well, all what I want to say is that what I perceive is that Anastasia, in her narrations, touches upon every single topic or subject or that is of significance for us humans in this world, living in this world. Every single one. And she does so in a way that is completely fresh. And yeah, again, I say it touched so deeply my heart, something that has been waiting there in the depth of my heart to be finding a companion or understanding outside of me. Because throughout my life, I often had the feeling I am wrong here. People speak a different language from me. They don't speak a hard language. And, you know, oftentimes I found myself displaced. But this is igniting something in me, and it's timely because we are living in a time that brings about a very tangible, profound, societal, global, and even galactic shift. I don't know if you've taken note of that, but for me, I'm positive that this is what's going on. So, but before I ramble on and on and on, I would like to know which one of you has read one or some of these books by Vladimir about Anastasia, and perhaps you share a little bit also about how it has affected you to imbibe this material. So who wants to speak?
Yes, Nenaji, please go ahead.
Namaste. Namaste to everybody. And namaste especially to Arunji. Beautiful soul here. Good to see you. It has been a coincidence, or I don't know what it is. Actually, I haven't got the physical books because they are out of stock. I kept getting, so many PDF copies continuously, so I couldn't, it was maybe a message that I should do this. As you said, I was, little bit, because I shifted from somewhere else to somewhere, so I was feeling displaced, as you said. So by then I got this beautiful, first I heard somebody who has done, this, what they have shared their experiences of reading this book. Then I started getting the copies, in PDF, and I started listening to the audio. So I have finished my first book, actually, like this. So for me, Anastasia is a living legend. From her, I think I have learned how to connect to the nature. And as you said, talk the language of love to each and everybody that you meet. When I sit and meditate outside my balcony with the trees, that is what I feel every day. And I have started more going into the nature, connecting to it, and without any reason, start loving others. And I think from her, I have learned you're enough for your own self, rather than to depend on anybody. And for all your, problems or whatever challenges that you're facing, it's the nature that you go. And without any judgment, it will give you solutions. That is what I have learned, to be more open to the nature and love more. And very small things to start appreciating in life. Thank you. Thank you. Looking forward.
Thank you. Thank you. I totally agree. Nature is our biggest medicine. No doctor can compete with nature. That's my take. Okay, thank you. And anybody else who would like to share? Who has read Anastasia? Nobody?
Nanaji, you want to share something? Yes, Pavniji, please go ahead, Pavniji. Yeah, Pavni Garu, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't see that. I didn't unmute. Namaste, all of you. Many congratulations to Beam family and Madam Irene for taking up this great initiative. We are really looking forward for this great journey and divine journey with Madam Anastasia. And when I first heard about her name, I was very much enthusiastic to understand, and many interesting experiences I used to hear from people who ever read this book, and I was very eager to know and go through this journey. I was really waiting for this journey to happen in Beam family, and ultimately it is happening. And when I heard from Patriji that she is none other than Mother Earth, then I felt so excited and so happy that Mother Earth energies are present here, not only in the divine form, astrally, but physically. There is a person who is symbolizing Mother Earth. So and more enthusiasm grew. And when I used to hear Master Suresh in PMC Telugu, I used to dream that I should speak with him and know more, gain more wisdom. And I thought I should invite him onto our Zoom platform in Faridabad, Haryana, which in India. So the main language here which is followed is Hindi. So it excited me that he knows Hindi. And when I requested him, Suresh ji, so he told that yes, when the right time comes, it will happen. You felt that with the pure, you have a pure intention, so it will happen. And it so happened that Master Suresh got an intuition from Madam Anastasia, and he came here and did 2-day workshop, first of its kind in whole of North India. And after 2 days workshop, actually it was severe heat here in Delhi and Delhi NCR areas, means connecting areas here. It was very hot, and lot of things were happening because of the heat. People were not able to bear, and we were actually a little bit scared. But Master Suresh told that um, we need not worry about it. And I also felt that when she decided to flow her wisdom here, nothing can stop it, and everything will become easy. And in the same way, it mm, uh, was telecasted to whole of the North India. And I think it many people now have that, means crores of people have that in reach now, her wisdom. Yeah, so this is a miracle. And but we think this becomes very natural when we are connected with her. That's what I felt. Everything becomes easy when we get connected with her. And thank you so much once again.
Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah.
You know, I want to comment on something you said. That it is so great that we have the earth in a physical embodiment. Well, we actually live on her body, and we actually are her part of her body, because all the elements in our body are the same elements that are in the earth, and that we live off and that we live on. So we are actually really one unit with the earth. So what happened? Why did we lose that path? Why we now have to discover afresh that nature is our biggest medicine?
Yes.
That's a big question too, that we need perhaps, especially at this time, to ask ourselves. But anyway, thank you, Bhavani, for your response.
And one more thing I wanted to tell you. Today itself, I more clearly realized that Madam Anastasia is now um, making us realize more that somewhere or the other we were always influenced by preconceived notions, and we think that that is our intuition, or that is coming from the inner self. But she now surpassed everything, and she became such a universal identity. I don't know the right word, but we think that this is the way, but somewhere or the other, that an idea is influenced by some um, already which is there on the earth in the physical mind. But she showed the way how to surpass that physical mind and become universal. She made it easy, actually. What I felt. Thank you.
Thank you. So, who else has delved into Anastasia's narrations and experience?
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to share, Irena.
Mm.
Yeah. So in 2020, I was in US, and that is where my sister had gifted these black books that you have seen on the shelf. So immediately when I got those books in US, I started reading the first book, and when I read the first book, got so much connected and so much inspired by her living, Anastasia's living, and how she's all alone by herself in the forest. Not all alone, however, she's having all the family of animals, trees, and that's her family. And with the minimal eating, how she's surviving. So that inspired me to go on a raw food diet for about 2.5 months. And later, there was a strong thought that to have a small garden of our own, wherein we can grow our own vegetables with the technique that she have shared. So now we are in Germany, in Heidelberg. We have a garden, and we have named it as Anastasia's Garden. And we the moment we got this plot, I touched that land, and it's breathing actually, and we feel the presence of Anastasia over there. So that's why we named it as Anastasia's Garden. So yeah, a lot of inspiration that I have taken from these books. And thank you so much for what you're doing now. And there is so much to learn, and so much to get inspired of. Thank you.
Thank you, sister, for sharing. Anybody else? Please come forward.
Yes, Ram, you want to share something?
Yeah. Yes. Hi, Irena.
Hi. I didn't recognize you.
It's me. It's me.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Hi. So happy to see that these sessions are happening. And Anastasia, for me as well, I heard from Patriji. He was the source of so many author, so many books, and as well the case with Anastasia. So when he introduced and he spoke about Anastasia, and then he said, she's alive, living in the forests. That really caught my curiosity. And I think the moment we release a thought, we add our emotion and energy to it through the curiosity, through the intention to connect or learn, things manifest. Or it's like you just take one step, from the other side there are 10 steps. That's what was the experience, because instantly the books materialized. Instantly there was a US trip happening and the books came through, and COVID came through, so we had time to read the books. So I have read three books, and each book indeed brings a change with one's being. It really makes life simple. It really one can experience freedom as one reads these books. So that was my feeling, and so many things she had shared in that book. So much important that we all connect to her wisdom, learn from her, and experience everything that she shares in those books. So looking forward to these sessions, and thank you for being here with all of us.
Thank you for coming to join us from Africa. So yeah, what is for me the most incredible thing, when I understood the way she grew up, in the forest, in Siberian cold, it gets 40 degrees below zero. She doesn't have a house. She hardly wears clothes. She doesn't cook food. She just lives in total harmony with this natural environment. She employs the wild animals to work for her, to do things that she cannot do physically. She employs the bear to babysit her baby. I mean, it's like, wow, wow, wow. And she's real and she's alive here now. And, when then you read how all of this comes about, she explains in very deep detail how she operates. And she has lived as a tiny child alone. I think her parents passed away when she was 4 years old, and she witnessed their passing. And her grandfather and great-grandfather left her alone in this situation and trusted that she would figure it out on her own, how to deal with it. And she did. So what I'm actually targeting with this is that the very natural fact that every child that lands on the face of this planet, of this beautiful planet of ours, is fully equipped with everything to make it through. Yeah. And this, we have so far removed ourselves from this pristine, divine heritage. It is our divine heritage. And when I read about all of this, something very, very, very deep in my heart was touched. And I thought, then what is all this stuff and this kind of strange and crazy life design? What for? And what is it about? And of course, then that brings me to that which I'm now reading, the book number 10 with the title Anastasia, which is again about a little girl. I think it's the daughter of Anastasia. And it just boggles my mind, the path of thoughts that she chooses, you know, and then she also manages to put it in reality. And I really think that her power of thought is capable of putting our entire planet on a reset, you know, changing people's ideas, touching people's hearts to remember, because it's all of this is implanted deep in our beings because of our nature of being inheritors of divine creation and here to co-create. So anyone wants to ask or to comment on this before I start reading some passages? No, seems. Okay, so then let me, if you will, allow me to continue or to start reading some passages from the last book that I'm reading now. And the one passage that I found is something that needs to be brought back into our memory, is the following. Information is an image. An image is information. If someone decides he wants to erase information within you, he will try to prove to you that the image doesn't exist in reality. And as soon as you agree with the image's lack of reality, then you yourself erase the information you're taken in from the image. You yourself erase the information you've taken in from the image. Human themselves are in fact a materialized image, every single one of us. And we can use our thought to create and materialize images. That is our universal power, unsurpassed by no one and no thing. So if we look at our present predicament on this beautiful planet of Mama Gaia, we have to take note that we are grossly in the process of destroying this planet by our crazy ways of doing things. Yeah, we've been abducted from the original wisdom that was inherent in us from the moment of our conception, actually, even before. Yeah. So yeah, talking about the power of thought, but also the power of imagination. Anastasia goes a step further. She says, whatever you think of, you've got to imbibe it with your heart's love for it to turn out conducive to all of life. And this is perhaps the right choice to take from here forward. And of course, we cannot all run to the Siberian taiga and set up a new life there. That would be terrible for her, and probably for us, very challenging too. But I would like to inspire all of you to start reading and imbibing those thought forms into your heart. And of course, also through your mind. But because it's important to understand things in your mind with the help of your heart. Because together, only together, heart and mind turn you into a true divine human. Do you have any thoughts to share about how she describes this process? I mean, information is an image and an image is information, and that someone else can come into your thought forms and mess around with it and change it against your will. Well, that's why we have to wake up. And Anastasia is helping us greatly in that. So I would like now for you to share your own inner responses, your what is triggering you, what is resonating in you, and or what questions you might have to Anastasia. And I'll see if I could answer. Okay.
Friends, if you have anything to share or ask, you can just go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Irena, I don't have any questions.
You don't also?
No.
What to do? What to
What
do?
to do? Yeah. So,
Okay, then let me think of something. I want to go back to the topic of love, which is a word that's been heavily used and more heavily abused in our world today. And I have the feeling that she is talking about quite another kind of love. I feel that it is a thought form that originates in the deep understanding that we are all, everything alive and even everything not alive on this planet is a part of the one universal force that has created this possibility of life in this huge, boundless cosmos and on Mama Gaia. So, yeah, it is very difficult to find appropriate words for this phenomenon that we call love. And yeah, it brings us to the limit of language. Perhaps love is best expressed very differently. And this is something that I become so connected to when she shares about how she raises her child, her son first, which reminded me also very much of my 2 years sojourn in the bush of Nigeria 40 years ago, where I witnessed how very, very different the relationship between parents and children are. I mean, the traditional life in Africa is almost all over is a community life. It's not the nuclear family that is the center, is the community, the village, everyone kind of sharing life together, everyone working as farmers and working from the land, off the land, and utilizing the plants as medicine. And yeah, they live very much like, not exactly the same as what Anastasia portrayed, but it was pretty close to that in my memory. So yeah. And I think that's also one thing that fired me up for Anastasia's design of a new life. She also actually managed to inspire the Russian president with the idea of giving each person, each human, I would rather say, not person, that means something different, but each human a piece of land, 1 hectare in size, to create their own family homestead. And this is an idea that's already caught fire in the world. If you look around, in many countries, people have left the cities, are leaving the cities, are living this tortured life in the cities where they're living like slaves. And yeah, start a new life, a completely new life, creating community with like-minded people. Yeah, and sticking their hands in the soil and having their vegetable garden and so much more, So the Anastasia's idea, her thoughts, and the quality and power and level of her thoughts have already traversed the entire globe. Hail to Anastasia, I can say, really. Wow. A great, she's an enlightened master in my vision. Yeah, nothing is amiss in her. She has zero fear for anything, and she has her higher mental capacities are highly developed. So and that's how we are all equipped. So I think really what I want to inspire is that we reflect upon what has made us fall so far away from this root, our roots, right? Because connecting to the topic of this morning, the lotus, without mud, there is no lotus. So we are thrown into the mud of Earthma and attempting to grow above the mud, above the water, into this impeccable, untouchable, radiant, beautiful flower. So, but, in the seed of that lotus that is going into the mud, already the enlightenment is there. Even as we are gathering here now, enlightenment is in everybody. It's present. So how come it doesn't show? Maybe it does. So let's show it. Yalla.
Irena,
I would like to hear.
we have Mridula ji. She wanted to share something.
Oh, please. Yes,
She
yes,
has
yes.
raised her hand. Yes, Mridula ji, please go ahead.
Hi, Irena. Something you said earlier, I was just sharing this with someone today. So many times our language doesn't really express what we really want to. I just shared this quote. I don't know who the author is. It says, "Truth vibrates at a specific frequency. You don't only hear it, but you also feel it." So just like that, when you mentioned about love, we do use it and abuse it. In one language, there are 1,000 ways to express love because it's a feeling. There are no words actually to express how we know in our hearts. So when you were saying all that, I just thought I'd share this because we don't have the words, not in any language in this world. That's why they say, our vibration, our frequency, when we enter the room, it speaks even before we open our mouth. So, and to get back to nature, it's so calming for us. We are part of nature, as you said. And when we go back to the nature, it soothes us. It comforts us.
Yes.
More than our mother, then, it embraces us. So I wanted to share, when you were sharing, I was just thinking of all these things. I thought I will just share out loud. So thank you.
I thank you, my sister. Yes, you're so right. Love is beyond expression in words, in language. I feel this too. I'm just looking for a quote that that goes beyond even that, and that expresses an even deeper truth to me. It says, where is it? Where is it? Just bear with me. Come on. Here. So, open your heart's ears. Love is misinterpreted as an emotion, but in reality, it is a state of consciousness, a way of being in the world, a way of seeing oneself and others. And I would add, and all of life. Yeah. It's from Dr. David Hawkins. Yes.
Yes, a beautiful quote. I thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it's a state of consciousness. Because really, Yani, you cannot separate the heart and the mind. It's all, consciousness is the whole unit of us. You cannot also separate the body away from it. That's why it is of such high import to keep our connection to the body alive, to feel into the body, to listen to its messages when we have some ailment, and to not just have it quickly fixed, but to be with this body. It's full of wisdom, more that can fit into our monkey mind. Thank you all.
Thank you. Irena, we have one of masters. Vindhyaji, please go ahead.
Please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Irena ma'am. So much wisdom you've been sharing and talking about Anastasia and Mother Nature and now love, and everything that you're sharing is so profound. The first time I heard Anastasia was from Madhu ma'am. She introduced, and how beautifully she talked about the garden that she's mentioning to you called Anastasia, and how the process of growing the plants too. She shared with us, the seed you put in your mouth and you give it your energy and then
Yes.
grow it. It was so beautiful. She inspired me, and I have few plants that I grow and connect to, and I wanted to read. I haven't gotten to it, but thank you for doing this and introducing us back to Anastasia. And even Untold Story of Sita, when Madhu ma'am did it, it is very much about Mother Nature and Mother Earth, and it all talks about how we can connect with nature and how we all come from. And you talked about we being part of the earth, and we are just separated ourselves, but we are still part of it. And when you talked about love too, how deep it is, and we have such confused image of love. What we talk about love, people talk about love and hatred in one breath. It's just like someone you love so much, in a second it changes to hatred because that person just cheated you. That is not true love. True love has no, it doesn't change, like a mother's love, which comes very close, and definitely divine love too. So universal love we talk. So yes, the more we understand these true nature of ourselves, I think we'll grow into better humans, and Earth will benefit a lot. Thank you for sharing these wise.
It is so much my pleasure, and I thank you for thanking me and for praising me. It is so much joy is generated for me in reading the books, and I just have to pass it on. And I'm very grateful that you are ready to receive and to share. Thank you so much, sister.
Thanks. Thank you, Madhu and Ram.
Yeah.
Friends,
So
anybody else wants to share anything?
yeah, last chance.
Yeah.
Now or never.
Now or next week?
Yeah, next week.
Because
Okay.
friends, this is not going to stop. This is going to continue for a long time. Every week we will be having Irena bringing new topics, new wisdom, and going to educate us and inform us and inspire us. So yeah. So
Perhaps
yes,
I
over
have.
to you. Mhm.
Perhaps I have a kind of homework. Or no,
Yeah.
not homework. I mean, perhaps you can tell me if you have any specific topic that you would like me to share about. Because as I said, Anastasia covers the entire range of our human experience. And she opens up new doors. And yeah, what would be of most interest to you? And first come, first served. Ooh, such nice flowers. Thank you, Chetnamonga.
Yeah. So, Irina, I would like to request you for the next week, if you can just take us through the journey of how Vladimir had found Anastasia. Maybe many of our friends, they don't know about this story. Maybe from there, if we can start slowly. Yeah.
Good. It's a good idea.
Mhm.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Gladly.
All right. Okay.
Shall we close for today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you all so much for being here and for sharing, or for not sharing, but you're sharing your energy. And looking forward to our next meeting in 1 week's time. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you.
Be
Thank you
blessed.
once again. Thank you once again, Irena. So we are so blessed to have you on board and sharing this wonderful journey with all of us. So we're going to benefit a lot. And friends, Irena has a wonderful, wonderful narrative skills. You're going to see it. She's a storyteller. She writes a lot of poems, and she inspires in many ways. She does wonderful art and a lot of things that we can learn from her in these times of traveling with Anastasia. So let us all open and let us all be free to share whatever we feel. So that helps even Irena to share more. All right. So thank you so much, friends. Thank you so much, Irena.
Yeah, we are here to help each other go home to where we belong. We need each other. Okay. Thank you for praising me like this. Wow.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.